Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, coming at you with another how to mine video for a new coin on your CPU mining rigs. This is on the RandomX algorithm. It works for your CPUs as well as Bitmain's X5. So I'll show you how to set this up in Windows, HiveOS, as well as the X5 here. Taking a quick look at things, it does look like there's staking available. One thing that's kind of up in the air to me is this is supposed to be a privacy coin, so it enables users to transact privately while adhering to regulatory requirements. So if you know anything about regulatory requirements, that has nothing to do with privacy. So it's going to be interesting how they do kind of mix the two together. So the first thing you're going to need, obviously, is a wallet here. So simply click on the Get Started and Download section at the top of their website, and you can see the CLI wallets. These are only the currently ones available. The desktop wallets are coming soon. So there's no fancy GUI wallet or anything for you guys yet. You're going to have to use the CLI wallet. So simply download that. Now, I have been running into some issues here. I'm going to go into my other rig where I do have this set up. I'm going to come in my downloads here, desktop, scroll down, and look at wherever I do have it. There we go. So Salvium Wallet is right here. So here is my actual bat file to get this running. So we hit edit here. So you're going to have to put this in. I will have this down in the description so you can copy and paste it. But for some reason, the node does not want to sync for me. If I come into the status here, it just stays on height 1 and it sticks there, forking now, whatever all this means. It won't start syncing. I went through the Discord. One guy is using his node, so this is another person's node. And when it does come to privacy and anything like this, highly recommended to always use your own node for the most private transactions. But sadly, right now it does kind of seem broken. So again, you're gonna have to make a bat file by using this command here, and that will just simply run your CLI wallet, and then we'll move on to the next steps. So now that you got your wallet running, here are some quick steps. Here's a screenshot of my setup. It's pretty basic. Just simply follow all the instructions. And then from there, once you're finally into your wallet, you can just use the help command and it'll give you a list of everything like checking your balances, checking your seed phrase, how to send transactions, and so on. So that help feature is a very useful tool. Use it if you're looking how to look up a command or something. So starting off with our Windows setup, you're going to need your miner, and this is where we're going to utilize xmrig, which is the best CPU miner out there for a majority of the algorithms that they do support. So scrolling down, here you can see the Windows version, so choose your Windows version, click on it, download it, and extract it. Once you're done extracting, you'll come into a list of files like this. First thing I do recommend is come into xmrig, right-click it, go to Properties here, Compatibility, and click on Run this program as an administrator. When you're mining on your CPU, the majority of the mining programs you must run as an administrator because you do want to run huge pages as well as the MSR mod. This gives you more hash rate. If it's your first time ever running it, you will have to run the miner and then reboot and then run it again, and you'll apply those changes. So do that first. Next up, you'll come into the little start here. You won't have all the bat files that I already have. You'll go into edit, and this is what you'll get. So from here, you're going to go from the xmrig, put a space, and then continue on. I do have a pre-made one here, obviously, from me mining already, so I'm not going to save that. And I'll just show you exactly what we got to do here. So coming in from xmrig.exe, put a space, -O, and this is where you're going to put your mining pool. So coming in here, we're going to be utilizing hero miners. They recently just added Salvium to their mining pool. Some of you guys may be excited that we're getting some real pools getting put out on Salvium. So here we have North American, West USA. So I'm simply going to copy this right here, copy that, and we're going to come into here and paste that in right there. Next, you're going to put -A, and that's your algorithm. So this is RX/0 random X, and then you're going to put a space here, -U, and then a space. This is your wallet address. So this is the address you're going to be mining to. You can get one from an exchange if you're too lazy to set up the CLI wallet, but it's never recommended to mine to an exchange. Once you get your wallet address in there, you put a period and then followed by your worker name. And then if you want to set threads, here is the command -- threads equals 30. So this means I have a 7950X. It's a 32 thread, 16 core CPU. I'm going to be utilizing 30 threads because it is my workstation, and then I can still do stuff in the background. So this is pretty much how you set it all up. Again, I will have this copied and pasted down in the description as well, so that you can just simply copy it over, make things nice and easy. But make sure you do change your worker name and that address or you guys will be mining to my address. Highly recommended, not to do, but if you guys want to help me out, feel free. Now make sure you do save that. You don't want to close it and run into an issue and have to redo it all, and then simply go into it. Mine is called Self Hero Miners. Double click that. It's going to ask for administrator privileges. Now we can see we are starting to mine to hero miners. Next, you do want to confirm that your rigs are showing up on the pool. So we're going to scroll down, come into this little section here with your addresses, paste that in, hit the lookup, and we can see my rig is detected. It only takes about 30 seconds. Hero miners is pretty fast to get up and running. Now let's take a look at HiveOS. So now coming into HiveOS, it's a pretty simple process. You're going to have to add your wallet first. So click on your wallets up here. Click on add wallet, and then you're going to have to type coin and ticker, so you can go Selv or Salvium or whatever you want. Whatever you do, name it here, it'll create the token, and that's what it'll look like on your HiveOS dashboard. So you can name this, 1000x coin gonna moon or something, and that's what it'll say you're mining. So you can do some tricks with HiveOS this way. Anyway, name it Salv or Salvium so you don't get confused here. Paste your wallet address in here, enter whatever wallet name you want, and then create it. I already got one, so I don't need to create another wallet, but that's how you do that. So next up, we're going to come into our workers, make sure everything is online, minus the one rig, which I'm waiting for a cable on. So now we're going to hit our flight sheets here. Let it do its thing. Type coin and ticker. So we're going to go Selv here. Here you can see Selv is what I named mine. TO, that is a Trade Ogre wallet. Sadly, I just said don't mine into an exchange wallet, but that's what I got set up here currently. Now we're going to go to configure in the miner, and then miner, we're going to use xmrig. So right there, and then you're going to use xmrig new, and then name this whatever you want. So I'm going to go Salvium Hero Miners, like so, and then we're going to set up our miner config. So our algorithm here is randomx xmr, wallet template, wallet.worker name. We're just going to do all this easy stuff first. So click on the eye, add all your CPU stuff in, huge pages. Yes, we need that. And make sure you turn your CPU on. This is a major step. A lot of people forget, and then they're wondering why it won't work. So make sure you do turn on your CPU. So now for our pool URL, we're going to come back into Hero Miners right here. Copy the same stratum, USA West for me. That is the lowest latency one for myself. And then we're going to go into pool URL, paste that in, like so. So everything else is pretty much done. So now all I gotta do, make sure you are on the latest and what fork you're doing. If you're unfamiliar with forks, a lot of people don't really know about this. xmrig is the standard xmrig you pick. But for some of the other coins out there, nothing to do with this video or this coin in general, but you can pick a bunch of various other forks here, like xmrig.cc, Zephyr fork, xdeg fork, Veal, and so on. There's a lot of other xmrig versions to mine other various coins. So that's just something to help you guys out if you can't find something like xmrig.cc, which is currently for like Yata coin. So once you've done all that, make sure you're on xmrig, the latest version, apply changes, and create that flight sheet. Once it is done loading up, I always like to apply this to one rig first just to make sure it's going to work. So I'm going to go into rig 2 right here, bring up the flight sheet, scroll on down. It'll be the first flight sheet that you do make under whatever ones you do have favorited. So we're just going to send that to the moon right here and then wait a couple minutes. All right, so I web shelled into my rig just to make sure everything is working, and it looks like it's loading right up. It loaded up huge pages. I'm just going to wait for a share or two, and then we should be good to check the pool stats to make sure we are being detected at the mining pool. All right, so a couple shares went by. My latency is looking pretty darn good here at Hero Miners with only 61 milliseconds. That's not too shabby. So now we're going to check the pool and see if our rig is detected. So I'm just going to hit a refresh button here. Scroll on down. Still not there yet. So I'm going to wait a couple more seconds. And it just popped up right when I ended my recording. So I should have just left it on. You would have seen it emerge in front of our eyes. So again, pretty darn fast. So now that we confirmed that everything is working there, I'm going to click on every rig here. So we're going to click on those, click on the ones that aren't on, get rid of these ones down here, come up to the little rocket ship here, and then pick Selv wherever you are. And now you can see Salvium Hero Miners. We're going to send the entire farm to the moon. There we go. So now that I got that all set up, let's jump into the X5 and show you how to set that bad boy up. All right, so I just loaded up the Bitmain X5 here, and it does take about 5 or 10 minutes to do all its self-check tests and all that good stuff. But meanwhile, while we wait for that, I'm going to come into my settings here, and we're going to adjust it. So I already have miner name here. This is where you put obviously your wallet address, followed by your worker name, which is .x5 here. Fan speed, I usually set it at 65, so we'll wait for it to kick in, see where I need it, depending on the temperatures. So for the pool, it's a pretty simple process, just like what we've been doing the other 2 times here. We're going to scroll up in Hero Miners here, come into USA West, right-click, copy this, come into the AMP miner here, paste that in, and that's all we got to do. So you got your pool address right here, pointing to Hero Miners. We do have our Salvium address right here on the X5. You don't need a password. I'm just going to wait to see what the temps are to set my fan speeds, but simply save that. And then once it is doing all its configs and system checks and everything, it will begin mining Salvium to the Hero Miners mining pool. So we're just going to wait for it to save and do its thing, come back in the dashboard, and then we're going to wait a couple minutes. All right, so it looks like the Bitmain X5 is now live. We can see real-time hash rate is sitting at about almost 250 kilohash. Now this does average around 212 kilohash. That is equivalent to about 9.6, so almost 10 7950X's worth of hash rate, and it does use the same amount of power as the 7950X. So this is a pretty efficient machine and a lot cheaper, where it would cost me like $10,000 to buy that amount of CPUs over $2,000 to $3,000 for just the X5. But keep in mind the X5, I do have a previous video on it. It only does work on 4 of the random X coins. So it is very limited, but if you want to mine one of those main random X coins, it's definitely cost effective and a nice efficient miner. Links will be down in the description if looking for any ASIC miners. And coming into the pool, you can see we currently have about 864 kilohash with a couple rigs down. And then scrolling through all the rigs here, we can see down below the X5 is live and kicking online here. So everything is running according to plan, looking good. Coming back into the AMP miner, we have 245 accepted, 0 rejected shares. So everything is working pretty darn great. So hopefully this video did help you to get up and running to mining Salvium. And thank you very much to Hero Miners for sponsoring this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.